Maastricht. Da hat er sein bestes PDC-Resultat überhaupt in seiner Laufbahn eingeholt. Mit dem Erreichen des Viertelfinals. Die aktuelle Nummer 84 der Welt. Herzlich willkommen, Stack Attack, Robert Owen. Der Gegner von Robert Owen steht 2 Plätze hinter ihm in der Weltrangliste, ist der mit Abstand beste Pole bei der PDC und man merkt ihm an, es läuft immer besser. Auch er erreichte vergangene Woche beim Dutch Masters das Viertelfinale, sein bestes Ergebnis auf der European Tour bislang. Herzlich willkommen, the Polish Eagle, Christoph Ratajski.
Well, if you weren't accepting Krzysztof Ratajski's new nickname, going from the Polish champion to the Polish Eagle, now you have no choice because he has it emblazoned across the back of his new dart shirt. Krzysztof Ratajski boldly stepping into the 21st century. It's got zips and logos and slogans and all sorts. This lad, having turned up and played Euro Tour this year and played in pretty much every single one of them, or will have played in pretty much every single one of them, is turning into a proper PDC pro. And we are expecting him to be either turning up at Q School to get his card next year, or potentially maybe doing enough over the course of this year to get one by right anyway. Because he has shown over the course of 2017 that he can throw darts that can worry the very best in the game. But he's up against Robert Owen, a man who, like Krzysztof, made the final day of action on a European tour for the first time in his career last weekend at the Dutch Darts Masters.
First. Game on.
It is the Welshman, Robert Owen, who will throw first in this match with the Polish Eagle, Krzysztof Ratajski. Paul Nicholson joins me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box. And new flights for Robert Owen as well. Look at this.
Everybody's been shopping this week. Everybody's been on the phone. See? I want a Fantasny dart shirt. Found out that Fantasny, I think, is the word for fantastic in Polish. But I'm just wondering why he's called the Polish Eagle. Maybe he's a Philadelphia fan.
Well, I mean, he could be.
Could be into American football.
He could be, I don't know. I think we're going to find out a lot more about Krzysztof Ratajski over the coming months and years if he continues to play in the manner that he's done so far this year.
No, I think you're right, Dan. He's obviously played a lot on the European circuit this year, and he has gathered experience
85.
to put with the experience he's already got. But he's a better player now than he has ever been. Now, considering the way he played in Maastricht last week, I would not have changed my shirt. But I'm superstitious like that. He brings that game. Robert Owen is in a bit of bother.
Well, he made the quarterfinals, Krzysztof. Beat Steve Lennon, the young Irishman, as that's the first 180 for Stack Attack. Saw a few of those last weekend from Robert Owen. Well, looks like 2 absolutely perfect setups. Oh, my word!
Robert, you require 36.
60 on the floor for Krzysztof Ratajski. Will it matter?
Well,
in effect, no. You never know what effect it might have had on Robert Owen, that extra bit of pressure with Ratajski having 3 darts at tops in that situation. However, Robert Owen gets the job done 1-0.
I did say that if Krzysztof brought his game from last week, that Robert Owen would be in bother, but flip that around, shall we? Because if Robert Owen brings some of the darts that he played last week, then Ratajski is in a bit of bother. Both these guys were great last week. Great additions to the final session of darts. Both of them obviously couldn't make it to the semi-finals, but 2 confident players going up against each other right now. I saw this as the game of the day.
Right up there for me. This one, the next one as well, Bain versus Beaton. But, I mean, 2 guys coming into this after quarter-final runs last weekend, their best runs on the European Tour. They must be overflowing with confidence. Ratajski, I mean, he saw off Steve Lennon and then 2 world champions in Jelle Klaassen and Christian Kiss, and it was only the world number 3 Peter Wright who did for him. Robert Owen beat Jamie Bain, beat Cristo Reyes, who's been superb on the European Tour these last few months.
97.
Beat Simon Whitlock. And then it was only Michael Smith, the 4-time Euro Tour winner, who did for him in a deciding leg. Oh, look at this.
139.
Well, leaves him 62. Robert Owen looking at the big one.
He had a 1.36 to finish his match with Simon Whitlock last week. That was 2 treble 20s at the time. But now,
62.
the Polish Eagle, treble 10, he loves 32. And that's what he's left. And that's what he hits.
In the second
That
leg,
is a Leonardo da Vinci
Robert to throw first.
double 16. That was picture perfect.
Yeah, wow. Lively start to this one. Very lively indeed. Robert Owen with another maximum. And if he keeps chucking in 180s on his own throw, it's going to be very difficult for Krzysztof Ratajski to get the break that he needs.
Am I right in thinking that Robert Owen, since last week, did an interview
21.
and said that he's the best player in Wales?
Did he say he is the best player, or he wants to be the best player in Wales?
I'll tell you what, take both scenarios. If he thinks he is the best player in Wales, fair play. If he wants to be the best player in Wales, fair play. Now, I'll quote Wayne Mardle here. It's not a question of whether he is.
40.
It's a question of what he thinks. And it's the confidence that that breeds. I once said about myself that I was the best double 16 shooter in the world. And Wayne Mardle said, it isn't about whether you are, it's whether you think you are. And if Robert Owen has that confidence, I applaud it.
Well, there is nothing wrong with backing yourself. Particularly Robert Owen, as Krzysztof.
125.
Unfortunately, he's had a bit of bad luck so far, you know. Darts on the floor when they're in the 60 bed. Couple of deflections. There's nothing unfortunate about this from Robert Owen. Apart from maybe that lie.
A shot in the third leg. Robert Owen. Krzysztof to
A lot of people say that Robert Owen has worked really, really hard on his position play. Where he can miss, where he can hit. Now, got a very unique lie with his dart. It lies low, like Justin Pipes does, but it kicks to the left. Now, if he does miss, like that one, it's more difficult for him to lie on top of the first one. He can miss to the left, then stack on top to the right. I think he's figured that out.
Well, it certainly feels like something has clicked for Robert Owen of late. You look at his runs this year, and they've not been stellar, but he has made board finals and the odd last 16. And he did say last weekend, prior to winning a couple of those big games, that he felt that it was coming, that he'd been playing well, he'd been getting some wins that he hadn't been before, and it's taken a while for him to find his feet. But if this is a sign that Robert Owen has found his feet, then maybe we do have another serious Welsh player on our hands.
One of the many.
Well, there are quite a few, aren't there?
Can't get enough of the Welsh boys on tour. They've all got senses of humour.
100.
All got good banter and brilliant games to boot.
Well, it is the Welsh #1 who awaits the winner of this. So if Robert Owen does come through this and he believes he is the best player in Wales, he's got a very good opportunity to show it, because it's the number 16 seed Gerwyn Price, the Iceman, who is the seeded player who awaits in round 2 here. But there's a long way to go in this one.
Last year, when Robert Owen was playing
90
in Sindelfingen, I actually said that he was wearing a somewhat colourful shirt. We'll come back to that in a second, because it looks like Ratajski might be taking this 136.
120.
Mind you, 135 isn't out of the question.
Only needs one treble here. Oh, well, he's got to hit it now, and he doesn't.
Yeah, that treble 18 would have left double 14.
94. Krzysztof, you require 16.
He's got 25 and a bull in that visit. Oh, now that looks a little bit tricky. How has he fired it in there? Of all the places in the double 8, I thought he'd have to go high, but evidently from where Krzysztof Ratajski was looking, it seemed to be a decent guide for him. Either that or just brute force led him to cramming it in the bottom corner there.
Brute force sounds good. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about Robert Owen in Sindelfingen last year, I said that his dart shirt was a little I think I said dodgy, and he pulled me on it, and he said that it was designed by some local kids.
Right, okay.
And I
Bet
said,
that made you feel good.
That made me feel
140.
like not very good. Spoken to a lot to Robert since then, and the new shirt, I believe, has also been designed by some school kids in his area, and I've got so much respect for this lad,
140.
having little art projects sent out to kids like that. And I tell you what, this one is so much better than the last one.
I think this looks pretty, to use a phrase my
97.
dad would use, it's a Bobby Dazzler.
I think it looks like something from the Jetsons.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Not to take away from
41.
Christoph Ratajski's fancy
Robert
new shirt, of course, but
164.
Robert Owen is just saw there, he's averaging 108. Now, this is uncharted territory for us watching Robert Owen. He was good last weekend, but he wasn't this good. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it.
Sometimes you just have to find out how good you really are. And right now, in September
60.
2017, we are
Robert
finding
Owen
out
32.
how good Robert Owen is.
Maybe Robert Owen is as well, you know.
Game shows
Because
the
that
fifth
goal
leg.
16
Robert
means it's 5
Owen.
consecutive
Christoph
holds of
to
throw
Robert.
in this
Game.
pretty high quality game we've got. And look, I know that all these guys can do all kinds of magical things on a dartboard in practice, but until you go up and you do it against the best players in the world on big
86.
stages, all it is a practice game. And there's no guarantee that you will ever be able to take it onto the big stages and win games in a professional environment with it.
140.
There's no guarantee. The only way you can show that you can do it is by going and doing it. And Robert Owen, he started to do that this last couple of weeks. And it may well be the platform that Robert Owen needs to go on and on and on.
Yeah, because the next level for him is to make the Worlds. It's to make the Players' Championship finals.
134.
It's to start taking scalps and making big runs in European events. And he has started that journey.
100.
Well, he's leaving it late, Robert Owen, but he's got, what, $5,000 on the European Tour Order merit. It'll be 6 from this game today and
83.
potentially a lot more. But if he was to have, say, another quarter-final run here, that would put him on $9,000 with a couple of events to go. And that puts him in with a very realistic shout of making it to the European Championship for the first time. And that would be another
97.
guaranteed few thousand on his ranking, and he starts moving up and up. He's 84 in the world now. The plan, of course, for Robert Owen was to be first up, get in the top 64. I retain his tour card, and that is a unfortunate
96.
deflection there.
Christoph, you require 82.
But yet again, on a two-darter after 12, he's playing really well. Ratajski's under the pump. 17 and tops has got to go. Oh, that's class, you know. It really is. When the pressure's on, the Polish Eagle is up to it. This is a proper game of darts.
It really is, isn't it? It is fascinating. And look, it is testament to how well
Easy
Robert
one.
Owen is playing that we haven't talked that much about Chris. I mean, we've talked about him all the way through this year, Christoph Ratajski. The Eastern European qualifier, there's only one spot available. It's basically now the Christoph Ratajski qualifier because he's qualified for all of them bar one. That'll be the next time out. So looking to sign off in style, Christoph Ratajski.
I'm not going to go anywhere until we mention his qualification because he beat cheeky Nandor to get through.
Nandor Bezek.
6-4. Gabor
100.
Tkac, who we've mentioned many times, who is probably somewhere inside Christoph's pocket right now.
Yeah.
And the guy he beat first, one of my favourite names, Zoltan Mester. If you've seen the film Dude, Where's My Car? You love the name Zoltan, but you love 177s even more.
And he's not hit a 180 yet, Christoph Ratajski, but that 177, look, Robert Owen is averaging around about the 107 mark here, and Christoph has been doing enough to stay with him and hold his own throw, and he might be making his move now, looking to get the break that he needs. He's a good 10 points behind on the averages here, Christoph, but such is his ability to take out the shots when it matters that he's stuck with Robert Owen, who's been on fire so far.
100.
And he continues to be on fire. He's left himself 120.
So what you're saying is Ratajski's doing a bit of a wadey.
Well, he is a bit. But he's unable to produce a James Wade-style check out there. Would have been a real killer, but Robert Owen is looking at a Shanghai finish himself. Just the 4 points difference in those finishes, but the 120 a lot easier than the 124.
Robert, you require 120.
Not easy, though.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Tops.
80.
Ooh, he'll have fancied that.
83.
But now, 83, one better than 82, which he's already taken out. Double 16, his favourite. Oh, that's just as clinical. If you needed proof as to how good this man is, you've just had it in the last 5 minutes.
Game on.
Yeah, this has been... I mean, it's... Christoph Ratajski is hoping here that he has weathered the Robert Owen storm, and it was a storm at the start of this game. But Ratajski has managed to hold on to his throw and hold on and hold on. And now he's struck and given himself the advantage.
96.
Well, Robert Owen has been in a few scraps lately, even getting to this stage, or this tournament. In fact, he came through a 6-5 with Stephen Bunting. So he's not alien to an 11-leg thriller.
136.
Just get the feeling that the radar has gone slightly off for Robert in the last few minutes.
85.
His first start seems to be drifting a bit, whereas Ratajski's is a little bit more right there.
$98.
Interesting switch, that.
Did you always try and leave certain, you know, those ones sort of 1-2-1 upwards, did you try and leave some more than others? Because the 1-2-7, treble 19 for bullseye, if he wanted it. But if he had hit the treble 20, then he can look at the 17s to leave either bullseye or double 8. Whereas other ones say, you know, you can end up with doubles that are quite awkward. The 1-2-7 seems like a good one to leave. Because if you don't get the bull, you've got double 8, and that's one you like.
Some of them look better than others, but we've noticed with certain players in the past that they like to leave certain numbers because it leaves certain doubles they like. But now, Ratajski going for treble 12 to leave double 16. He's only got one way he can do this. Oh,
well,
maybe
there's
two.
another.
2 ways, and it's 2 that he needs.
66.
I didn't expect that treble 19 at all. 80. But we've seen a few funky darts tonight.
Well, single 19 would have left tops. He's messed it up, and Robert Owen might have messed this up. He has messed it up. You want a treble 13 there. And Christoph Ratajski, well, the problem is the treble 17, treble 19 has left him in the madhouse, and there's no margin for error inside. And that's why that's so high. I mean, he's not attacking it. But you knew he'd attack it with the last one. He had no other option, and it's 5-3 to the Polish Eagle.
I think Robert to throw first.
Robert Owen's heart would have been going there thinking, please miss that one, because he would have taken out that 2-darter. Now, it's the Polish player who is in pole position. Robert Owen needs a 3-leg blitz.
Robert Owen played some great stuff last weekend at the Dutch Darts Masters.
59.
However, he is currently averaging 104, Robert Owen. In terms of the numbers, this surpasses anything that he did last weekend at the Dutch Darts Masters. But curious game that darts is, it may be that he's going to get done by a man averaging 13 points lower than him.
100.
It's things like hitting double 1 with your 3rd dart that skew the averages. It's funny how every time Nathan Aspinall plays, he always comes running to the commentary box
90.
and asks him what his average is. And I do tell him, but I say it doesn't matter, you just won. Ratajski against Gerwin Price is looking very, very likely. Robert Owen, make no mistake, is not out of this match though. He's got the bit between his teeth.
474.
And he knows that Ratajski cannot finish this leg. So that double 10 that he's got in front of him, he hits that, it's game on again.
132.
There is huge pressure on the Welshman here.
In charge of the
What pressure?
Robert Owen.
Robert Owen
Christoph to throw first.
is learning
Game on.
about these situations more and more week by week, and he's handling them so well.
Well, it has been very impressive from both men here. And it is not over yet, because just the 60 for Ratajski. Oh, it's a shocker of a first dart. One of the worst he's thrown all match.
83.
But he recovers.
It's a good 83. It really is. Because he could have been flummoxed by that first dart. He might need that 60 that he hit.
139.
Well, this is it. You get the feeling these are two players who are on the up, playing with confidence. Look at those numbers there. We've had a 12-darter, a couple of 18s, everything else in 5 visits to the board. It's neat, it's tidy, it's proper darts. And these two players must feel that they are playing the best darts of their lives. And so if they do have a bad dart, they can just shrug it off and get back to doing what they've been doing
100.
all the way through these last couple of weeks in Rob Owen's case, although he would say he's been playing well for a few months now. And Christoph Ratajski's been playing brilliantly on the Euro Tour all year.
But he looks better now than he did about 6 months ago. We said he's good, but now there's a different look about Ratajski now.
He's got a new shirt, mate.
Yeah, that. And a look of assurance.
Yeah. He looks like he belongs and he feels like he belongs on that stage, and he is producing darts that are backing that up. And Robert Owen, unlucky to see that dart bounce out in the last visit, but Ratajski has not shown him any mercy
85.
here.
Christoph
Owen was
requires
averaging
62.
108 for a big chunk of this game, and it has not been enough to stop the Polish Eagle, who once again has put in a very impressive display on the European Tour. Ratajski wins it 6-4, 103.5 average for Robert Owen, the man who wants to be the Welsh #1, but it is the Welsh #1 that Ratajski will face in the next round, because the Iceman Gerwyn Price has got the unenviable task of trying to stop the Polish Eagle soaring through to the final day of action for a second successive European Tour. Ratajski through, as is Keegan Brown, Daniel Larson and Jamie Lewis. Jamie Bain and Steve Beaton on the way here in Mannheim.
Congratulations, that was a very good match. I mean, Robert Owen had an average of 103. Yeah, no, Robert, yeah, your average was 95.
Yeah, it's 95. It's of course a very good average for me. I'm happy with this average.
I have the feeling you feel much more comfortable on big stages. Last weekend you played a quarterfinal in Maastricht. It's getting better and better.
Yeah, I really feel really good in Maastricht. And here, I think it's the same. Yeah.
Gerwyn Price is the next opponent. What can we expect?
Yes, I hope I get a revanche for him.
Okay, but did you lose to him last weekend?
Not last weekend, but I lose with him, and I would like a revanche.
Okay, good. See you tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Christoph Ratajski. Einer, der immer besser